Well done. Getting you being hanging on. That's
Wait, wait, I'm not going to do it from up here. So, now I'm too scared to do it from here. So I'm scared. It's day 28 of a year facing fear, and I'm standing on my horizon, shitting myself. But here we go.
well, like just like one hand now. Practice that swinging. Practice the swinging. That's it. That's it. Ready. Up.
Every time that I watch one of these videos back, I still cannot believe that I am up there doing trapeze. Like, it blows my mind. But this video isn't about landing a trick. I wouldn't say I landed a trick. Confronting my fear of heights in order to try a trick is probably more to the point. It's actually about what you don't see. What you see in that first little snippet is me, yes, standing up on the rise on that tiny piece of wood, one arm, and jumping off the platform, albeit legs and arms a little bit everywhere. But the reality is when they first put that rise, so that little piece of wood, under my feet, I froze. Completely and totally froze, because it was every time I do something that adds just a little bit of difficulty to something that I'm trying, every time I add even a tiny little bit of height, and frankly the rise is maybe 20 centimeters higher than the platform, but it's the fact that it's this very narrow piece of wood. I don't know, it's about 8-10 centimeters. It's quite thin. It's a little bit wonky. So it's on in between those two, not ladders, pieces of steel, but it's not secure and it feels really wonky. And then you're standing on that and then standing out into the abyss. And then all of a sudden for me, it just felt so much scarier. I couldn't do it. And so when they put the rise up, I froze and I went back. I got that fear again, that visceral fear response of literally feeling as though I felt as though I might pass out. I felt that heat, that sudden rush of heat to my cheeks and the pit of my stomach. Yeah, I was really scared. And I'm really glad. Thank God they hold on, is all I can say, because I just could not go. And I would lean forward and hold on, but I didn't jump. And if they hadn't been holding on to me, I don't know, I might have literally landed flat on my face. Luckily, I've got a harness on. Luckily, there's a net. And luckily, I've got two amazing people who are holding a beginner like me so that I don't fall to my death and die. That's a bit dramatic, isn't it? But I just couldn't go and I froze. And they were saying, ready, hep, and I couldn't. Ready, hep, and I couldn't. Ready, hep. And I just couldn't go. And I don't know if it was the third, fourth, it was probably the fifth time we had to reset and go again that I was able to jump. And I had to remind myself in my frozen state that I can do this, that it's only a little bit higher. And I've been doing this because I had been fine at the beginning of the lesson and I'd been jumping off without the rise. And then all of a sudden, it's like I started overthinking it and I started doubting myself and I started doubting my ability. And all of a sudden, it was as though I was thinking about every single little aspect of the trick at the same time and I just couldn't do it. And so I want to remind you that often what we see out there in social media, it's not real. We're not seeing the failure. We're not seeing the times that people have tried and just couldn't do it. But that's actually where the growth is. That's where we have an opportunity to step up, to confront our fears, and to, even though we're scared, sometimes really scared, do it anyway. If we haven't already met, my name's Katya. I'm a connection, behavior, and body language specialist and coach, and this is my year facing fear. I invite you to let me know down below or in my DMs, what is it that you're afraid of? What is it that you haven't tried because you're petrified? How is fear triggering you, can't even speak, to stay small, to stay quiet, to not step into your power? And until next time, I want to say, I see you, I believe in you, I believe that you have absolutely got this. And if I can do this, I promise you, you can too. Mwah.